It's 8:10. Welcome back, everyone, to 10 TV Plus this morning. This morning we're going to Boomtown. We're going to take a big look at what has been happening with the growth in Central Ohio. It's exponential and keeping up is challenging. We're talking housing, roads, the future of transportation, and of course there are all of the major companies, including Intel, Google, Meta, Anduril, all choosing to make Central Ohio a key component of their booming companies. It's why 10 TV launched that new series called Boomtown 1 year ago, seeking solutions to help guide all of us through the growth. And leading that mission for us here at 10 TV, Angela Ann. She's here this morning. So glad to have you back in bright and early with us. We're going to talk about Boomtown here on 10 TV Plus and where we are going next. The first year. Woo!
It went by so fast, didn't it? And you think about the growth. It was almost exponential when you look at all the stories that we kept doing and affordable housing, so on and so forth. So many takeaways, Tracy, to talk about really Boomtown here.
So I want to talk about that more because it seemed like you'd start with one and there was almost a domino effect. I think people started to realize, oh, this does affect me, even though maybe I live in Delaware County or something like that. What were some of the bigger issues, you think?
I think the biggest thing, like you said, when you talk about a development maybe in Licking County, it will affect people in other counties because you have people who are choosing other places to live. They might be more affordable, and they will travel that way. But I think the biggest takeaway, Tracy, is that we're now a destination, not just for locals, but for people from out of state. We're no longer this stopover place. Anduril coming put us on the world map, creating more than 4,000 jobs over the next decade. Really the largest job creation in state history. Also last week, you might remember Centrus Energy, right? That's Southern Ohio, but that will affect us here in Central Ohio. So many people are saying, okay, we might be losing manufacturing jobs, say at Pixel paper plant, so on and so forth. But that is also going to bring more jobs for people in the entire state of Ohio. So when you talk about this momentum, Tracy, it is like truly palpable when you look at what's happening here.
And you mentioned you might want to find a new place to live. Housing. I mean, even in our town hall meetings that we've been having, people are talking about it's cost a lot to rent.
It does. It does. I mean, and the thing is, they can't even find money for the down payment, right? For a single family home. The average cost of a home is going up. So when we talk about not just affordable housing, but housing in general, the city has said we need to build X amount of housing over the next years. I think Mayor Ginther said maybe 200,000 units over the next 10 years. They have readily admitted that we are not there.
Wow.
We are not there. And we're trying to catch up, but how do you catch up with the pace of growth? So when we look at the number of units that are needed over the next years, this is why we see so many developers coming on board. But with Boomtown, what we're also learning is that a lot of these developers are working with cities that are saying, listen, you want to come build, you have to help build the infrastructure.
Yes.
Tracy's like, give me the whole package, right? I mean, we want to talk about utilities, we want to talk about so much. Transportation, the roads that needed. And here's the other thing, the zoning codes. You have reported on this before. The city of Columbus, for the first time in 70 years, changing its zoning code so we can build more vertical, denser areas to fit that housing need. So we're seeing zoning code changes not only in Columbus, but also Whitehall. So a lot of cities are saying maybe we need to do it differently.
Well, and I think the thing that's really interesting is how it's the growth, but it's weaving all of these different communities and cities. You can't live in a silo now.
No.
In Boomtown.
You can't. And I think a lot of the cities realize that they have to partner with each other. Right? It's no longer who's going to get there fastest. It's how do we grow as a region.
And all of that growth comes with some traffic concerns.
Really? We don't see it ever. I know you don't in the hours that you come in the morning.
So,
yes. So obviously we voters voted for Linkus back in November. That was a huge coup, if you will, for the city. So when we look at Linkus and what it's going to bring, really Central Ohio, they talk about this, the BRT. People's like, what's a BRT, right?
Sounds like a sandwich.
It does, almost. But it's not. It is a bus rapid transit. So we're talking lanes, you can see there, bus only, in key areas of Central Ohio to really get people to move. And they're also talking connectivity, right? So not just four wheels, but we're talking biking, trails. How do we get people to start moving around in a more smart way? It's something they've seen in other boom towns like Austin, where they're really building up that that plan of getting people from point A to point B without the orange barrels, without the congestion, because we're welcoming nearly 1 million more people in the next 25 years.
So, and if you've not been to Austin, Texas and seen it, I mean, they got it going on.
They do.
But it took a while. I mean, I have family there, so I've seen it, and now we're reliving it.
What's really interesting is when we launched Boomtown 1 year ago, we went to Austin. We went to see what did they do right, what did they do wrong. They admitted what they did wrong. One really interesting topic was light rail. And they talked about how maybe decades ago, Tracy, they talked about light rail, which we know, if you've been here long enough, you know that it was a topic here.
Indeed, sure.
Austin leaders said voters voted down light rail. Too expensive, it took too long to build, so they chose other pathways. They are now building light rail in Austin, Texas.
And listen, not a moment too soon.
Exactly, and that's where they realize it might cost them more now, but they know that they need it because they're still growing. So really, Lincus, I think, is something for Central Ohio leaders to say, how are we going to utilize all the money that's coming in from that sales tax revenue that people are paying, and how are we going to do it so that we may or may not need that light rail down in the road. We don't want to make the same mistakes as Austin.
I don't know how you're going to answer this next question, but I'm still going to ask it because I'm the questioner this
I
morning.
I love it.
What is the next big boom for Central Ohio? You covered so much.
We have, so how do you pick, right?
Right.
I knew you were going to ask that question. So that's why we have a special tonight at 5:30. This is really interesting because we felt like we really wanted one place for everyone to go to really see what we've covered in the past, but also where we are going. So that's a special edition of 10 TV News at 5:30. But Tracy, when we talk about what comes next, if you've flown through Port Columbus, well, I still say Port Columbus. It's not Port Columbus.
No.
John Glenn Columbus International. That shows you how long we've been around.
Wow, yeah.
They had this $2 billion expansion, right? A new terminal coming.
Yes.
Because we have more people coming. They had a record number of passengers flying through. So we're going to look closer at that and what that really means for us. But I really think the next boom, you're going to love this. Defense, we know Andrew.
Yes.
Aerospace.
Yeah.
Air mobility. And that is one of the big pillars for the governor of the state. And when we say air mobility, we're not just talking drones, delivering food, and stuff like that we've already seen. Air taxis. Like you and I hopping inside an air taxi, and it just hovers us from point A to point B.
Girl, I'll be waiting for it the other. I'm not getting in that.
Yes, you are.
Mark my words right here today. Nope.
But we're going to talk about all that. And I think that when you talk about the next boom of Central Ohio, there's actually quite a lot of buckets that we are trying to fill all at the same time. But the key strategy for leaders is how do we do it in a smart way where people like you and me are able to grow with it.
So I'm not going to say the number because you look like you just started last year, but this has to have been incredible to see where we've been and where we're going to really work on that.
It's a night and day, and I think if you're in this space, you love it because it's our home. And so we want to make sure that not only are we reporting on the growth, but we understand it for ourselves, our families, and our future. So really there's going to be a lot of this coming. So tonight at 4 o'clock, again, we're talking about the airport. We're talking about the boom in Pickaway County.
Yeah.
That is huge. Solar farming, right?
Yes.
We hear a lot of these farmers, and you know, it's generational wealth that they're able to provide for their families. But what are they going to do with that land? So we're talking about that. There is so much to talk about, and it is exciting.
Well, it is great to have you back. And friends, don't forget to join us for 10 TV News at 4 over on 10 TV. And then there'll be a special at 5:30, 1 year in Boomtown. More to come. Angela will be there, yes. Thanks for coming in this morning and
I love
visiting with us.
coming in to your stream. This is great.
Well, be careful. We'll have you back.
Thanks, Tracy.
All right.